I've seen some horrendous sights over the years, and I'll have to say, your face that day was probably one of the worst things I'd ever seen. If I'm honest, you was lucky you wasn't decapitated. But I think what we do is just prepare and train for the worst ever, and then when it comes, we're prepared to deal with it.
I was moving a pallet with a forklift. As I turned my forklift round, there was another side loader coming through another door, and somehow it came straight through the front of my forklift.
He had almost caught the 2.5 ton girder in his mouth on the frontal onto his face, and the injuries went from the corner of his mouth and opened his cheek right up to his ear, and they were on both sides. So his whole face was laying open and the back of his head was severely injured. When we arrived, the scene was quite panic. There was a panic scene, and Harry was laying on the floor by the side of his forklift truck, and he was just laying in a pool of blood. We knew immediately that we was dealing with what we call a time critical situation, where time is of the essence.
As soon as the East Anglian Air Ambulance turned up, a paramedic said, "Oh, hello mate, this is Carl Smith. I'm going to be your paramedic for today."
Harry on that day was unable to talk due to his injuries, so we were having to rely upon thumbs up, blinking, once for yes, twice for no, to try and communicate with him. He did ask the doctor at the time if he was going to die.
He said, "Well, I'll give you a whiteboard and a pen," and I wrote on there, I wrote die. And he said, no mate, you're not going to die. And obviously I thought I was going to die, because obviously I wasn't really sure what was going on. It was just a big blur. Because of who I had there, Cole being the paramedic he was and what he deals with, it made me not panic as much. And the way he dealt with me saying, "Oh, everything's going to be all right, mate, we're going to get you straight to hospital and everything's going to be fine, you can have top doctors look after you," and I couldn't have been luckier. I'm really looking forward to seeing Cole again.
Harry, how you doing?
Hello mate, how are you?
Absolutely amazing. How have you made such a recovery?
Oh, I don't know. Honestly, everyone seems to be shocked and shocked every day I get out of bed.
I've been in the ambulance service for about 20 years, and I've seen some horrendous sights over the years, and I'll have to say, your face that day was probably one of the worst things I'd ever seen. If I'm honest, you was lucky you wasn't decapitated.
But how are you prepared for those sort of situations? Like,
if I'm honest, that's what makes our job, I wouldn't say exciting, I think that's what makes me enthusiastic about doing my job. No 2 days are the same.
Yeah.
If you go to work worried about what you're going to be faced with that day, I think you've just put yourself into an early grave. I think what we do is just prepare and train for the worst ever, and then when it comes, we're prepared to deal with it. And I think that's all you can really do, is try and be your best. Train hard and fight easy.
Now, how come you wanted to become a paramedic then?
I left school and didn't know what I wanted to do. And then I saw one day ambulance technician required. And at school, I didn't get many qualifications. I thought, if I want to get a decent job, I'm going to have to get myself some qualifications. Went back to college and did one GCSE a year and got like grade C. So I'm not your A-star student. Never thought I was going to make a paramedic. Went in as a technician and worked alongside paramedics for probably 2 or 3 years. Went and done my paramedic course in 2003. Absolutely loved it. I'm just absolutely love it.
I just want to say a massive thank you for what you and what your team have done. It's just great, absolutely amazing.
You're more than welcome. I think if there's one thing people say, what reward do you get out of doing your job? It must be really rewarding. And for me to see you today, sitting here, looking as you are, is absolutely unbelievable.
So, I think if you look back and have you saved their life? Yeah, you have. When you see them walk in the room, and the only time you've ever seen someone is when they've been dead, and then the next time you meet them, you've got them back and they've gone into hospital, and they want to come and meet you. That is quite emotional, and knowing, if there's one person walking down the street today that I've got back, or I've been part of a team. It's not all one person, been part of a team to save their life. What more could you ask for in a job?